Okay. Now it's
Yeah,
yeah.
on.
Okay, brother. Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyana Mita Sukhi Hontu. I'm Aliana and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 42 by Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima. Tonight we are going to discuss the 17th session of Sigalovada Sutta. Sigalovada Sutta is the fourth sutta from the total of 10 suttas that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amma Perdana Klang's Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have uploaded the previous 41 classes there. The Sutta discussion Zoom class is always open. Therefore, whoever that wish to join the class where we can engage directly with Bhante can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Amma Perdana Klang Facebook Messenger. We are welcoming newcomers. Now, please allow me to introduce about our speaker. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima currently is the Senior Advisor at Patisota Canada, a virtual Dharma organization that helps beginner as well as expert students in learning Dharma in a variety of ways. Many people are interested in Dharma Pariyesana, Patisota most acclaimed interview series, which Bhante conduct on regular basis. You can check on Patisota with the link www.patisota.blogspot.com. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima earned his PhD in Buddhist Studies in 2015 from University of Sri Jayawardenepura in Sri Lanka. From 2012 till 2015, Bhante served as Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. And in 2016, Bhante was a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society of the University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante and thank you very much for such wonderful talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Aliana. Welcome back to day 42 of our Sutta discussion. And it's going to be 17th class of this Sutta, Sigalovada Sutta. And as you know that we've been looking at different contexts of Sigalovada Sutta, which is commonly regarded as the discipline of lay people, right? The discipline of lay people. So, but keep something in mind. It's a contextual thing. We are not fighting to go back to the Buddhist time. It's gone. And if somebody is trying to go back to the Buddhist time, especially from what the Buddha said, then and there might not to avail. That means that we have to understand the contextual ideas and the meanings so that we can incorporate the relevant teachings. Okay? So that's how we study, and we have not discussed Sigalovada Sutta, especially the responsibilities part, in a way that we need to fight, go back to the Buddhist time. It's a different time, especially for women. And, plus it was commonly accepted that man is the breadwinner, but which is not the truth in today's time. Both man and woman, husband and wife, they are breadwinners. So how do we understand this then, right? Okay, so with that in mind, let's jump into discussion. So before we start off, we're going to pay respect to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. So we have Aliana, Lim, Kim, Kelvin, Hema, Sadiris, Lim, Dihan and Sub today. Probably couple more might be joining as we proceed. Okay, so the first thing what we're gonna be doing is that looking at what do you call the sutta. Wow, Dihan has a temple. Are you in the temple? A pagoda.
Yes,
Oh,
Bhante. Yes,
oh,
Bhante.
oh, in the temple. Oh, great, great. So
Yeah,
you're in the
yeah.
temple. Yeah, thank you for showing that. Okay, so let's get into sutta. So I'm gonna screen share just for this part. Otherwise, I wanna see all of you. Okay. This is Sigalovada Sutta. We're gonna go down Sigalovada Sutta. Number 1, we done. Chatisa, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we done the Metta part. Okay, 13. 13, go to not the first ones. Third. Okay, the fourth one. Okay. Let's see from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the fourth paragraph. So from today, so today we're going to be going into a different set of responsibilities. Today we are starting off the responsibilities between that lie between spouses. I would say husband and wife. So the Buddha first talks about what responsibilities that a husband is supposed to fulfill, right? Okay, so I would invite anybody of you to read. So you have the screen now, don't worry. Who would like to read? Dihan, I have never heard that you recite. You have a chance. Are you here with us? Oh, you are there. I think you are on a phone. Can you see this text? I don't know whether it's clear to you. Okay, we can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I can see only the using the
Oh,
phone.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry.
I understand. Yeah. Let's give that opportunity to somebody else who would like to read. Spot. Should ask like who is there to read this one? Okay, Lim. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, is the highlight one, is it, Bhante?
Yeah, highlight.
Right. Panchahiko kaha patiputta tanehi samikena pachema disabradikriya pachupatatapa samananaya
Samma. Not sama. Samma.
Samanaya wamananaya anatichariyaya visari yas wo sakena alan karanupate nena.
Great. Yeah. So there are 5 responsibilities a husband is going to fulfill towards wife. So as I said at the beginning, we need to understand that this is a contextual teaching. That does not mean that we are supposed to practice the way how these responsibilities look on the surface level. So we had to look at how they play in our life, right? By respecting. Because Buddha was talking to the Indian society at that time, which is a patriarchal, the man-based society. But there are things that we have to learn, which we can incorporate into our life, especially in your life in here. Okay, let's see. Before that, maybe I can ask somebody to read the English one too. Let's go to English one. I think it's gonna be here. Number 13. Yeah, who would like to read that? Yeah, so go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. In the 5 ways, should a wife as the Western direction be respected by a husband? Be honoring, not disrespecting, being faithful, sharing authority, and by giving gifts.
Go back to the Pali. Okay, so now there's a question. Can you see this direction? This one, Pachima Disa. What is Pachima in Pali? Now, in the previous one is Dakina, south. And between mother, father, it was Purattima. Okay, this one. That means, what is Purattima? Eastern direction. Dakina, southern direction. Then Pachima, which direction is that?
Western direction.
Western direction. Can anybody guess why this particular relationship was given to the western side? Was it just I actually explained to you the other day that it was a shadow roadmap. Yeah, it's true for the most part, but there are some elements that we can think also. Normally, a life of a married couple their life is going to be end up in their relationship, right? Western direction. And I don't know whether if this is the truth in your cultures. Do you know that whether there are some customs where the what do you call the dead bodies are heading? Dead bodies are positioned in the coffin? Is that to the western direction or the eastern direction? Where are the dead bodies are positioned in a coffin? Any thoughts?
Bhante, it position during the funeral or during the wake itself?
Probably for the viewing time, I guess. Maybe including the funeral time too, I guess. I don't know about the funeral time, because funeral time sometimes you can't keep track of that because depending on the situation. But for the viewing, it is going to be there for some time, right?
Yeah.
So
usually for the wake, they were positioned in such a way the legs were faced out to the main door. It doesn't, but regardless of where the direction is.
Direction, okay.
But then if for the funeral and it's a burial type of thing, then they will actually depends on that person's. For Chinese customs, it depends on that person's Chinese birth date. So
Okay.
it depends. Like say for example, like they usually will take the male side. So if it's a husband and wife sort of grave, they are sharing the grave. So they will actually follow the patriarch of their family. So they will just follow and see which direction that they have. So it doesn't necessarily means west or north or south or east.
Yeah, the point that I was trying to say is that in Sri Lankan culture, to my knowledge, there is a saying that do not sleep towards the western direction, because that is where the dead body, the coffin is positioned, especially the man's body, the person's body, dead person's body. It looks to me that this could be a formal ending of life in the western direction. So on the other hand, I think the sun rises in the east, but it does not say it. It sets in the west. It doesn't say so. So it looks like this is gonna be kind of a formal ending of anything. Most probably our human lives. Okay, so that is why probably the western side was given to the relationship between spouses. Okay, so we're going to be learning what responsibilities a husband is going to do for his wife. Okay, the first one, Panchahipo, Gahapati Putta means householder. Pancha, 5, right? There are 5. Tane, places, things. Samikena. Sami means husband. Right? Samikena. Panchama. This Bariya means wife. Okay. Pachupattatabba should be performed. Okay. The first one is Sammananaya. Sammananaya. What does Sammananaya mean? If you go to the English one, it says honoring, by honoring. Sammananaya. Okay, so what is Sammananaya? Now in Pali, I think I can write something over here. This could be a verb stem in Pali. In this, what we understand is regard, man. So man in Pali means regard. Okay. So maneti, the words like this kind of word. Okay. Maneti means regard, right? All that. So if you add sir at the beginning, that means well respect, well regarded. Okay. If you bring that to here. Okay, so here man means regard. So Sammana means well respect. Now, what does it mean? How do we take it? How do we take it, this idea actually in our life? Now, before all that, we should have a disclaimer because nowadays there are different relationships, right? Common laws, right? And some people are unmarried, but they stay together. So there are different relationships. So we are trying to see how all these can connect to all of these people. We're not saying that anybody who is not married is not going to be a part of this. If you really stay together with a person, there should be considerations out of these 5. So what is well respect from a husband towards a wife? Maybe I can ask from the gents over here. Right? Shouldn't ask that from a lady. What is the respect? Because you have your hands-on experiences in real life. What is the respect? What's the kind of the respect, the well respect that a husband is supposed to, offer towards his wife or the partner? Any thoughts? If married people are not bold to say, I'm going to ask the single people. They might say something.
Bhante, I have no.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I think it's respect in terms of like at home. So like my family, I have children. So sometimes we have to, like in terms of make decision, cannot make by myself. I will ask my wife first, seek some opinion from her. Then before we make a decision for the family. This one I think is the most thing that respect to my wife, to have a chance to discuss and make a decision for a certain thing for my children or for food and everything. This is one of the things that I feel like respect to my wife.
That is one of the ways.
Bhante, be allowed to speak up. So it's not like we always have to listen to the husband. We can give our views. So it's in that way respecting each other. It's not like a one-sided. So to me, that is respecting the wife. A husband to respect a wife. I mean, I don't have to always follow your way, I have a say in like what Lim says. he will get opinion from the wife rather than, oh, it's my decision, so you have to follow me. I think it's a very fair statement. That is how you can live as partners, lifelong partner, you know. And I mean, try not to argue so much. To me, that is called respect.
Okay.
If you always
so-
have quarrels and always, you know, then you're not respecting each other.
That's a good point. So now, before we get into that a little bit seriously, we need to look at the society that the Buddha was asking this. Probably this was not happening between couples at that time. That means the man was the decision maker. On top of that, because it was a society, because he's the one who was the breadwinner who brings money into the house. So the woman is like, okay, so I had to listen to him because he's the one who is making money. So I'm not making money. I'm just taking care of my children and then, just managing the house. So probably the Buddha wanted to change, make a shift in the society in a what you call peaceful way, which means man at least should have a respect for his wife, the partner. Now, as Lim said, actually it comes in one of the responsibilities in the list, which means that you are sort of, giving the authorization to make decision for the house, because the man cannot make decisions for the whole house. And also in modern society, we had to look at it differently from a context that he has to let her, I don't know what the proper wording, speak up or come up with ideas. Because, the idea is that if she is so pressurized, yes, speaking up, definitely, and then come up. Because normally in Indian societies, especially the Indian society, there is this idea that man thinks that, the woman thinks that she has to sort of agree with the husband for whatever his decisions. But it's not how things happening nowadays, even in Indian society too. So we have to look at it from culture to culture. That's one thing. Second thing is contextually. But it is always good to think
Yes.
from a husband's perspective that he has to involve wife into discussions and thinking, planning, and all that. That is one way of respect. But this is not only the only way of respecting, right? Remember, in the Vedic time, if a woman is going to read the Vedas, the Brahmin is going to cut her throat out. Yeah, can't read. They can't read the Vedic text. I'm not saying XYZ religions, the women can go to some places, right? So the women were not given even the chance to read the Vedic text, the Vedas, read Yajur Samana. Only the men can go inside those places and then read. So I think this respect can be a bigger concept, involving her into decisions, not making wife a pressurized person. At the same time, respect her in all walks of that particular life, right? So it's a very manifold concept. The idea that we have to take, right? Sammananai. It's not just mananai. Mananai means respect. Samman, well respect, right? Any other thoughts? Sadhins, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, you have to have more understanding
Mhm.
before you make a decision, or before you even think about anything. Discuss with the wife, with the partner, and ask her for the opinion. Give her a chance to speak out, share the opinion before making a decision. That's the respect that you have to give to have a good relationship. Don't just simply demand that this must be this way.
Okay, great. That understanding part, that's a very good point. That could be the origin. Now somebody might ask a different question. why these two people are disagreeing on many points. Why did they get together, right? This was another conflicting point. Many people ask, no, we just fell in love and we do not know how we interact, at different, places and points of our life, matters of life. Yeah, I mean, in today's world, people think more about this understanding part, as you said, right? Not just fell in love, attraction. Okay, can he understand me? Can she understand me? Or was it just an attraction thing that happened? Okay, I love you, and all that, right? So understanding plays a bigger role. The more you understand, the more peaceful, the more harmonious is the life. Even the respect is going to be very easier for both of you, right? So understanding is a good point. So if you say understanding could be the core point, then definitely there should be a good understanding before they make a commitment between each other. Yeah, so let's say that there was a good understanding. So the first responsibility is getting easier for husband and wife, right? Vice versa, right? That's a good point. Any other thoughts? Okay, so even the second responsibility is the opposite of, quite the opposite of the idea of the Sammanana. It says that, let's see, Sammanana is the first one. Then, Anavamananaya. So, by respecting is the first responsibility of a man. Then, by not disrespecting her, Anavamananaya, right? You can see this part, Anava. Anava means, the opposite of the Samma, right? Anavamananaya. That means not disrespect. Anavamananaya. Okay, so how do we take that? Let's talk about the aspects of disrespect that can happen. Probably we can, add this to the first idea too. That means not allowing her to engage in the discussion, not allowing her in the decision making, giving so much pressure, probably not appreciating what she is doing at home, right? Right? And what else? Yeah. Ladies, it's your part. Come up, speak up. What are the places where you get offended from the other party?
Not listening to you.
Pardon me?
Cannot compromise.
Okay.
That is very painful. I mean, I'm speaking from the wife's point of view.
Okay.
If there's thing like what Brother Sadiri says, you got to understand, and then a decision can be made. But if it's a one-way thing, it's very difficult.
I think what Sadhris was trying to say is the understanding has to come from the both sides.
Yeah.
There should be mutual understanding. That would be the
Yes.
good way of saying that. Yeah, mutual understanding. Yeah. What about if somebody is going to take things for granted? That's another issue, right? Because some are really, very very honest, at the same time very, how to say, feeble in the sense of speaking up. Some women cannot express themselves as much as they think, so probably she might be misused in that relationship. She wants to talk, but she doesn't know how to respond, right? So so it's always with somebody who can speak well, right? at the end, in this whole world, a politician can speak well, can attract everybody, no matter what he can do or not.
That's where
Professor, lecturer, house relationship, everything.
that's where the right view, right speech comes in.
Yeah, that's a very deeper thing. But we're looking at these contextual ways of seeing people, right? So there may be somebody who is weak in expressing
Communication.
herself. She doesn't know how to approach, how to say things, and probably if she's going to speak up, that could offend the man right away, outright, and there's going to be a commotion, fight, right? Probably she's going to protect all that because of the family, the both side, probably children, for the sake of children, right? So I think we go back to the understanding part, mutual understanding, knowing each other for some time, getting to know each other, getting to know the unknown life of the unknown, not the known life, right? So it's pretty easy to, stay together. Anyways,
Get to know your partners.
get to know the unknown, not the known one, the invisible. Okay, so what are the other ways of disrespect? Compromising, yeah, it's true. Not getting mistreated in any ways. Appreciation, this is a big part of, not even in a marriage relationship. I think some people think I should not appreciate him, right? This works both ways. Why do I appreciate? It's a part of his life. He should do that for me, right? Right? So, appreciation could be a good point where you can minimize issues, right?
Acknowledgement, Bhante.
Acknowledgement, yes. Acknowledgement is the appreciation, right? Yeah, that's true. Acknowledgement. Because some men might think that if I acknowledge, things go haywire. I mean, people think differently. Yeah, Sadhis, go ahead.
How about not sharing the same, the amount of money needed to run the family? Selfish in a way, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. That's why also disrespect. No? You want to run a family, you need to work together, compromise, and share the burden of whatever the cost is. But from my understanding, some people do that. No? They don't want to share. That's where the problem comes. There's disrespect of each other.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, Sadhis. It can happen. Yeah, definitely can happen. So somebody might think that why can't these issues be fixed beforehand? Have a good understanding before we get into this commitment, sacrifice, right? But anyways, it does make problems, especially not not putting one's own share in terms of financial plans stuff in the household. It can happen. Yeah. And then there is a disrespect. Yeah, that causes this. Why should I only do this, right? Disrespect. Yeah. What are the other things that we can understand? The disrespect that can happen towards a woman. Especially from relationship perspective. Yeah, Hema?
I think Bhante is important to respecting each other's space. Space is very important, and also support whatever each other is doing, support in terms of whatever area it is. The spouse has the aspiration to do. So it's important to have each other's support, and is disrespecting is when you just don't bother about it. And I think it's very important to be there, to be present, to support each other. And then not only that, also giving each other space to be who they are and what they want to be. The space is so important, I find.
Yeah, that's a very interesting aspect, right? Giving space. I remember a very interesting story, but I'm not going to mention the names, anything, the cultural names too. There was a there was a man who became a doctor from an Eastern country who went to Canada. And then he was married to somebody in his clinic. He was a dental surgeon. And, somebody from that culture might think that the justice is always sharing. Like if I change the diaper of the baby, then you should do the same thing to next day. But the doctor cannot do that, right? The dental surgeon has to go to different hospitals and he doesn't know what time he has the surgery. But she expected that. Oh yeah, if I do it today for the baby, you gotta do it tomorrow. He said, I can't do that. How can I do it? I have a surgery at this time. Then she was really mad and she took pictures of everything and then sent to the medical office. See, this man is not a good man. An extreme example. Huh? Don't take it like as a normal one. An extreme. Sometimes some people think justice probably too much in a too extreme way. I think at that point is the time we have to look at the space problem, as Hema brought up. Now, Sadhri said, yes, sharing money, that's a big thing in life. At the same time, understanding what your partner is doing is very important. Giving that space because he or she is busy for that, for both of us, not just for herself, right? I think a huge respect or disrespect can come up from not understanding or understanding what the other person is involved with. That's a big point. And then they broke up, they divorced actually, because he brought up somebody from his own country. He's saying, I'm educated, I have money, but my wife is from a different country. Now I understand that just because I went for the attraction looks, it won't work for me. I mean, somebody has to understand me properly. So he went back. Probably an extreme example. There may be good couples too from different interracial backgrounds, right? Yeah. Any other aspects of this? Trying to say something?
Yes.
Hello, how are you? Yeah.
Something like if the husband always leave the wife back home and going out for occasions like birthdays or celebrating the family's day or whatever it is, that also is a big disrespect. It can cause a lot of problem between husband and wife.
That means not accompanying her to occasions.
Yes, leave her back at home and going out on his own. In a way, maybe on the family side doesn't agree, so she just dump the wife without even saying anything. I'm going out.
Yeah,
And,
that's a
way,
good point.
you'll never.
Yeah, social isolation, right? Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, so husband should not. I think that's one of the ways of disrespect. Yeah. So yeah, understanding what she's doing, not making her life boring. So that's a good part.
May I add something, Brother Sajris? Because sometimes I felt that it is good to give the man the freedom to go out with his buddies, so his friends, and going to have jolly good time. So in a way, when the man is happy, he come back a happy man, and then you'll be happy for the whole family. So let him have a good time in with his own circle of friends, not tying down the man so that we limit their freedom. That's how I see that. It's good that we have space for our friends and couple. We do have a couple time, so I felt it's good to have that. That's my opinion. That's my sharing.
I can agree with you, but what I'm mentioning is when you have like a family gathering, why you must just simply abandon your wife and go, or some important occasion like going to temple or something like that. So you're making things worse if you keep doing that. But obviously a man or that woman itself need some space to go and see a friend. That goes without saying, no? But if you keep doing that to leave her back at home all the time, that's disrespect on each other and problems will arise.
Mhm. I think Sadhris, as you brought up at the beginning, it's mutual understanding. I think when you have mutual understanding, these things might be very tiny between them, right? But I know that when there is no mutual understanding at a very deeper level, I mean, at a very good level, substantial level, it is very normal to have suspicions, right? For man not to bring her wife towards the occasions, maybe go on different paths in socialization, right? Whatever that it makes them happy or for the happiness of the family. Anyways, so I think we should not bring that anymore because it leads to other things too. So it's good to understand here that mutual understanding can stop or prevent a lot of this disrespect stuff happening, right? So I think the family, what do you call the family context, the way how a family is running in your own houses could be very different from other houses too, right? The way how the man thinks, the way how women think, the kind of jobs that they are doing, the time, probably the number of children that they are having, how they are interacting with them, right? So depending on all these various factors, I think the answer could be very custom tailored. We have to customize the answer, but the idea is that mutual respect, that is the most important thing, where you are not trying to step on the other person's leg, right? So you are respecting properly. Okay, so sammananaya means by well respecting. Anavamananaya means second responsibility of man is not disrespect. Let's go ahead. The list. What is the third responsibility? Interesting. Anaticharya. Anaticharya. English translations, being faithful. Let's go back. Anaticharya. What is charya? Here, what is charya? Charya means behavior, right? This is the meaning of charya in Pali. Charya. But what kind of behavior is this? Charya. Now, okay, if I bring you to another context, Brahmacharya, have you heard that? Let me write that for you. I'll make things a little bit interesting.
Is it honesty?
Brahmacharya. That means celibacy. What is celibacy? What is celibacy? Celibacy is, that means absence of sex, right? Which is up to monastic life. Maybe even in the Indian society, the idea was that a young boy, a young girl are not involved in sex after spending some time with the celibacy. That was the idea at that time. But this could be different as well. So the Brahmacharya, you can see the idea here. Charya, see that? You see here? Charya, right? Charya. Charya means behavior. So here, what is Brahman? Highest behavior, right? Brahmacharya means highest behavior. Okay, so Anaticharya, what is Anati? Anati means misbehavior. That means misbehavior, Anati. Now let me ask you a question. Have you ever found out something similar to this in your Pali readings or your Dhamma knowledge, Dhamma readings, Dhamma listening, Dhamma talks, discussions?
Kamesu miccachara.
Kamesu miccachara. Kamesu miccachara. Chara is behavior, right? Miccha, misbehave. But now what does it mean here? Anaticharya means, yeah, you have a charya when you are married, when you are in a conjugal relationship, you have a certain way of enjoying your life, right? That may not be a holy life, it shouldn't be, but it is a way of accepted legal life that you are making with your partner. So anati means that you are not exceeding that life. Anati, you are not going beyond that life. How can a man go beyond that married life? By engaging with another person, engaging with another man or woman, in this case a woman. So that is a responsibility of a man. Okay? It's a responsibility here. In today's world, there are very different opinions about it, so we are not going to discuss all that. But the idea here is that, that if a man can take care of a woman with respect, without disrespecting, and only being with her, creates lots of what you call connection to her, engagement, and then that's one of the best ways to care somebody. Now, in today's world, people talk about why not? Polyandry, polygamy, it's fun, huh? Why shouldn't be? It's fun. People say, like, we look at the Buddhist things that it's not just fun. You care somebody. It's not just the physical stuff. You care somebody. You can die peacefully. I took care of her very well. She took care of me very well. Right? That mentality is very important. When Buddha went to Kapilavatthu, what happened? He went to the Kapilavatthu city, his birth city, right, where his father was living, and then he went into the palace, King Suddhodana's palace, and then, but to that encounter, there was somebody who did not show up. There was somebody who did not show up in that encounter. Who was that? Yashodhara did not show up. Yeah, she did not show up. Why is it? There's a different thing happening, right? Because, I mean, anybody can say she had a very difficult time and he left, right? Somebody can make a point. Although we're going to say, no, he went for a bigger course. He wanted to, find out this truth, right? But from a woman's point of view, definitely, she must have experienced a different thing, right? So she was not able to show up outside, probably in the main area of the palace. So the Buddha went into her chamber with monk Ananda, and she fell down and she started crying. What she was saying is that ever since I heard that you started shaving your hair, I also started shaving my hair, right? Ever since I heard that you wearing the yellow saffron clothes, I also stopped, using other beautiful clothes, also wearing the yellow kind of clothing. Ever since I heard that you are not eating only are you eating one meal, I also started getting used to that. This is how I committed to you, even you left the house, right? So what a great woman is that? I mean, he's gone for his own thing, but she's still thinking about it. And then the Buddha said, I know about it. You have not done this thing only in this life. For 500 years, you were my wife. I know that. Since the story called Chanda Kinnara, you were a mermaid in that life. Ever since that time, you were loyal to me. You did not do anything wrong for me. You kept that. I know that. And then the Buddha gave a Dhamma talk based on the Chanda Kinnara Jataka story, the mermaid love story. So the idea that I wanted to say is that see this not exceeding what you call the loyalty. Now, this is from the woman's side. Now, here, the idea is that for the man, so man is not gonna exceed. Although there are tons of temptations, huh? Don't forget about it. Tons of temptations on social media, people at work, right? Temptations everywhere, somewhere, right? But the man knows, no, this is not for me, right? This applies to the other party too. So the third responsibility is that not exceeding, not just physically, even with a single thought in the mind, right? Like that family, remember that family? What was the name of that family in the Buddhist teachings? What was the name? It's the ideal couple in Buddhist teachings. It was given in Anguttara Nikaya, one of the suttas. Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita, right? If you want to look at that, look up that sutta, maybe I can find that out. Nakula. See that? So you can find out if I found it. No, I don't think I can find it out now. So in the Nakula Mata's, Nakula Pita's case, what happened was that the both came to the Buddha and asked, told their story, and they are saying each other, Bhante, this is my wife. Since this many years, probably 50, 60 years, we were together. Ever since I was engaged to her, I have not even thought about any other woman ever since. And she also said the same. Then their question was, Bhante, is it possible for us to be reborn in the same way the next time? Did the Buddha say, no, anicca, go to Nibbana, samsara is dangerous, impermanence, dukkha? Buddha said, yes, it's possible. Upon four things. Samasila, Samasaddha, Samachaga, Samapanya. These are very interesting. Not Sila, Saddha, Chaga, but Sama. That means if the both have equal faith each other, means they are loyal to each other in the same. If the both have equal morality, they are virtuous equally. If the both have equal generosity, sometimes the woman wants to offer, but the man does not. He's having questions about, you don't need to donate this to the temple. Right? Why should I? We already did something to the temple. Right? But both are equal in that generosity. Then Samachaga. Then Samapanya, equal wisdom. Their wisdom is very equal. That means not 100%. The both of them think in a similar manner. Then the Buddha said, if any couple has equal faith, equal morality, equal generosity, equal wisdom, yes, there's a chance they're going to be reborn in the same. I mostly think what happened with Yashodhara and the Buddha was the same thing, right? So the idea here is that while we understand everything is impermanent, if we don't understand that impermanence, we are into suffering. Because everything is impermanent and suffering, we cannot say, this is me, myself, and so forth. But we need to live with others. We need to live with us, right? We are doing everything in a life, secular life. So Buddha wanted to tell people that if you want to pick this life, just go ahead. But this is the ultimate truth. There is a choice, right? There's always a choice for all of us. So the third responsibility is then man is not gonna exceed his wife. Now, don't worry, there are similar set of responsibilities from the woman's side too. Okay, third responsibility. Any thoughts? Some people say things, I like to hear those things. If I'm going to break somebody's family, this will happen to me in my next life. Interesting, huh? How people think. That's pretty interesting. If I'm going to break somebody's family, This can come. But what if that there would be a problem in my family? My wife does not listen to me. My husband does not listen to me. We have arguments. We were almost going to have some physical violence. Why should you then why should you want to be together at that point? So definitely there are things to do at that point, right? Yeah, so there's a formal ending, and then because for some people, marriage is not always going to work for some people, few people. So they should have a way to go, and to settle their problems too, right? Unless other than that, I think if there is a marriage, then definitely man should not exit. Okay, so the fourth responsibility. What was it? Now we talked about first one, Sammananaya, by well respecting his wife. Second is Anavamananaya, not disrespecting her. Just now we talked about the third one. That means Anatichariyaya, that means not exceeding his marital life, not having any extramarital affairs, right? Fourth one, Issariya Vossagge. I think some of you just voice about it a little bit. Issariya Vossagge. What is Issariya? Can anybody guess about this Pali term? What is Issariya in Pali? Issariya? Issariya means, what's the English translation? Sharing authority. So then Vossagga means sharing in that case. But let me tell you, Issariya means ownership. Ownership, I would say your power at home. If you are the man, you have, sort of like the power about decision making. That power has to be what you should do. Issariya Vossagge. That power has to be decentralized. I don't know how many men would like to do that, to decentralize the power, right? Deputize the power. So we cannot decentralize. This is a problem in politics too. Some people want to take the power and don't want to decentralize the power among others. So here in the household, man has the power, but he wants to decentralize with wife. That means deputize. You know what? Take care of the house, and this is the money. At that time, actually in India, man brings the money, but he does not use it. Who is going to use it? Woman is going to bring the money into the hand of the woman. Right? I don't know how many men would like to do that in today's household, right? Right? I remember a funny Facebook post some time ago. Thank you to my hubby. Thank you to his pocket. Blessings for his pocket. Credit cards and all that. Right? I mean, I don't know how many people like do that, because at that time, I don't take it to today's life. The man brings the money and then gives to the hands of the woman. So the woman is the one who thinks about how to use money wise. That's an interesting thing. I think in today's world, it is harder to spend money wise than earning the money. A lot of people earn money, but the most difficult thing is what to use that money, right? That is a big problem in many people's life, because it needs a lot of wisdom, right? Because when you get the money, and a lot of things that you have to spend that money on, right? So that is why at that time it was said, oh, she is very wise. She might not work physically, but she knows how to do it. But in Indian society, the Brahmins did not believe that. They were saying that she's not intelligent. The Buddha said, no, she's intelligent. So giving money, sharing the authority with her. What Sattva means? Sharing or decentralizing the power at home, right? Even if the man can donate something to the temple or somewhere, he is giving that to the woman. Hey, go and offer that to the temple. Even if there is something that he wants to give to somebody, he is giving that through the wife. Not making any ideas for the other people that she's greedy. She's not giving anything to other people. But man knows that. So donating through wife, even the other stuff. So the people have a good understanding about that family, that couple. Very interesting. Right? Isariya means ownership or mastery, power of the house. So the man is sharing that with wife for the partner. But be careful, like sometimes there are partners who are not very sure about their relationship. Then you have to think about how to do it. But if you are committed in a proper way, yes, definitely. It's a good idea. But understand how this is going to work in today's world. I said that at the beginning, there's a disclaimer. The disclaimer is, this is a contextual teaching at that time, then and there, but there are things that we can do. Any thoughts about this fourth responsibility? Sharing the ownership authority of the house. Are men willing to share the authority of the house? Let me ask. Gentlemen here. Before we say that, this is good. I had to ask from these people, right? Are they willing to share the authority? The power?
Bhante,
Yes.
the modern men, yes.
Oh,
modern-
great.
Yeah, but the older ones still old school of thoughts.
Mhm.
They want power, but not these days. not these days. Because the wife has a say.
You are talking about a fraction of the people, right? Not everybody. There are even all
Yeah.
people who are with too, but there
Yeah.
may be a fraction of these people who might be so. So we have
Yeah.
to respect maybe good people too. But normally it is because of the what do you call it? It is because of the what's the proper word for that? Assimilation into the life that we all spending now. Because the life in 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s back then is not the life that we are spending nowadays. It's like modern people might do so, but the old folks may have different thoughts about it. I don't know. They may think it differently because they look at the outcomes too.
Morning.
Yeah. Any thoughts about this fourth one? Yeah, Kim, you're right. It's the modern people who is like that. Like that, but there is a difference. But there may be good people too who think differently. Any thoughts?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah, go ahead.
for 18 years, I manage all the financial thing, but actually, before I come to the Malaysia, I gave more than 50% to my wife. I think it is very easy for me now. Yeah, so she's handling other things, everything except the main incomes. So I think it's now she so happy. Then she also know how difficult to manage those things. So according to my experience, sharing is a very good thing. Thank you.
Great. So now in his case, sharing the money part, which Sadhis brought up earlier. So sharing not even the money, it's the whole authority of the household. The house may have an authority comes from different ways. Sadhis, you have anything to say?
Yeah, if I want to put it that way, sometimes we like to share, but from my understanding, there's a lot of cases like the mother-in-law or the father-in-law or whatever it is will instigate and say, "You are a man. You got to make the decision. You got to, the authority and all that." So that's where problems comes.
Great.
There's a lot of cases where
even to modern couples, yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So I think it also goes back to the thinking that mother does not like to release son, even he's in a marriage. Like, I know better than her, I know him better than you, right? This mentality, the Sigmund Freud's thinking, like Electrata concept, and then what's the other one? Oedipus and Electrata concepts from this like Freudian thoughts always bring up that probably, from the man's side, there's always a big influence, unless son is not going to have a good understanding with mother, right? So not a lot of men would do that, because, right? This is why there's this idea that when everybody is drowning, who are you going to first rescue? Huh? Is that your wife or your mother? This Chinese idiom, right? I've been saying that. Okay, I'm gonna save the both of them at the same time. That's a good idea. Being very safe to say, like. So I think, yeah, there is influence. That's true. But I think the man should be able to explain the situation to mother at the beginning of the relationship, the marriage. Otherwise, there's gonna be problems in a very safe way, in a very better, safe way. Otherwise, if he's not doing that, so somebody's going to put more fingers into the life and things can go crazy, right? So definitely at that point, he has to understand it. And also there is this masculine thinking, like, you are the man, you got to do all that. This thinking has to be understood at the beginning, right? I think that has to be understood depending on the life. So when you are committed, if you're going to be the boss, I think there's going to be a lot of issues. So you are not talking very well. You don't have active conversation with her. So then there could be some issues too. Yeah, that's a good point, Sarvis. Okay, let's go to the last responsibility. If you have any questions, you can ask them. The last responsibility is pretty interesting. Alankara Nupadani. Interesting. What is Alankara here? Alankara. Can just spotlight this one. Alankara. And Alankara means jewelries. Jewelries. Utpadan. Giving jewelry. So we'll see this one. Giving gift. Okay. This is interesting. Alankara Nupadan. Giving now. I think the translation was done by an American person. So he chose gift over jewelries. It's interesting. But the Pali idea is Alankara means, I would say, mostly things that embellish her life. Could be gift, yeah, definitely gift, but mostly this could be jewelry. I remember one very bizarre incident that happened when I was back there. Interesting. Huh? Keep this in mind in a very peaceful way, not in a way that is really harmful. There was a Dhamma talk, which the monk who gave a Dhamma talk about these 10 responsibilities in Canada, in a house. These 10, these 5, and the next 5. Okay. So he was talking about the importance of these 5, especially giving more emphasis on the man's side of giving jewelries to one. Actually, the man was a greedy man. He has never given jewelries other than the wedding ring and all that. So he had already particularly said to the wife, I'm not gonna give you any jewelries. No. Don't expect that, right? So he was making a life like that. So when the monk said that, we went back. He was taken back to the temple. There was a very big argument happening in the household. Yes. Did you talk to the monk? Did you ask that to be given to the audience here, right? So then I think. We had to involve in a certain way, saying that this was a contextual thing. Don't take it to your personal life. Probably he didn't know your true situation in your household, right? So yeah, so there are things like that. So we have to be very careful because not every family is having all this in the particular way. At the same time, in a modern situation, we have to be careful in talking about this. And I have a very different experience too. I think I already shared that with you a long time ago. There were two women who came to see me, young girls at the university when I was a chaplain. They were asking me a book to read, a Buddhist book. At that time, I didn't have a proper book for them because they are quite newbies, beginners. But I looked at my shelf in the room, the university. I saw the book called The Treasure of Dhamma. It's a very famous book written by Dr. Kesari Dhammanand, right? A Treasure of Dhamma. Interesting book, which has all the alphabetical Dhamma matters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like that. So they came back in 3 weeks, and they were telling me at the beginning, if you are not getting offended, can we discuss something? I said, I'm not getting offended. Yeah, there's something in this book that we would like to talk. Okay, yes. Okay, so they were referring to this one, which we talked today. The responsibilities from the man and from the woman's side too. They were saying here, it is said that the Buddha asked the husband to give jewelries to the woman, but he has not asked woman to do the same thing on the other hand. That is not fair, they told me. Said, oh yeah, that's true. Because they look at it from a modern point of view. Why only he has to give the jewelries? I said, this is a contextual problem. At that time, man did not give these things to woman. That's why it was said. But in today's world, we have to take it from the today's context. So by understanding all these incidents, what we have to understand is that there is a responsibility from the husband's side to give gift, which includes jewelries. So I think it's interesting because when you give a gift to your wife, I think that creates lots of connectedness, engagement. Any thoughts about it from anybody here? Are you somebody who is doing this time to time, or maybe on special times? At special times, on special days too.
I like to add something, Bhante. I think better if we could include the clothes also. It's a very important thing when for the family life. Actually, they are expecting something. So especially jewelries are very good. Then
Expensive, yeah, that's an expensive.
According to my experience, yeah, clothes. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, not everybody can afford to. That's a problem too. Yeah, but although this was said as jewelries, but let's put it as gift. So, which has fundamentally cosmetics. I would say clothings. Yeah. Any thoughts other than the contents of the idea? I mean, as a whole, it's also a part of sharing, right? So giving a gift, right, and then remembering. I think these things could be very small stuff, but the impact you are making is very high in your life, right? That impact. So that impact, the sentimental impact you create, is so powerful.
One more thing, Bhante, according to my experience, actually, whatever the gift we are giving, the value is not much considerable, because though it's 10 ringgit one, 2 ringgit one, that if you are giving, they are getting a lot of happy and good connectivity. Thank you.
Yeah, that's an idea too.
Yes, but I would say that as a woman to receive gifts, or we give gifts to the man, I felt that I think both sides also we are very joyful that we think of each other, and in a way is an opportunity to really value the person closest to one another. So I felt that it's good to give gifts, whatever kind, not necessary. Even time is also a gift to me. Even the precious time that they are busy and they can find time to be doing what it means so much. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful to give and receive. On our side is receiving side. I'm so joyful. So it's good.
Yeah, that's a very happy feeling, right?
Both side, yes, yes. I think especially the lady's birthday. Don't forget the wife's birthday.
Good idea. That's a very good idea.
Oh, how could you forget?
So, did you type something over here? I think the west is for ending like the sun.
That was just now when you asked, but then just now
Ah.
you asked about the west, so I type it in. It
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
Earlier
Because
on.
sun rises in the east. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so just to wrap this up, the whole idea of husband's, let's take partner two, the male side, responsibilities, right? 5 responsibilities. So what do you want to think as a whole of these responsibilities from the man's side? Kelvin, you have any thoughts?
I think it's we not sure. I think most likely it's just we have to honor, respect, bring them gifts at timely, at timely intervals, trust them to do things, and these are all the good sort of things that we can do lah.
I think that makes a man a good person too, right? A good man, on the other hand, right? Not just somebody who is with a wife, I think, so we have, I would say, these, except a couple of them, these responsibilities as virtues create a man, a good man, respect, dignity to any lady, right? Because we have this conscious thinking about it. Like if you go for a marriage, yes, there are additional responsibilities, right? Because if you look at the Buddha's time, life story, how do you look at these responsibilities now? Remember that how Buddha looked at women, especially when things happen to different people. He looked at women from a different angle, right? Because he wanted to help them out in the proper way. But when they requested to become nuns, did he grant permission? Not right away. There may be reasons at that time, right? So then Bhante Anand intervened, and this is how it happened. There were practical issues for them, right? So then that Buddha always maintained respect and dignity for them. So we cannot use women in women with the topic of the gender to be a problem. I think there is a big argument. What do you call it? Not argument. There's a big criticism, large criticism directed towards Theravada, is that Theravada does not accept women as a part of their enlightenment experience. This is a huge criticism given by other folks, especially, I don't want to mention their names, because in one of the books called Buddhavansa, have you heard this book? Buddhavansa, it's a part of Buddhaka Nikaya. In this book, it was discussed about the requirements, prerequisites for becoming a Sammasambuddha. Manusattang, Linga Sampatting, Hetu Sattara Dasana. Here, you have to be a human and then you have to be a man. Now the problem arises. So that means Samma Sambuddha attainment is only for women. If the woman wants to attain, she can't make it in this life. But in Mahayana, they say no. The Buddhahood is for everybody, not even for women. Everybody. So there's a big discussion. But the problem is the Buddha Vansa is a book that was added at a later time. So we may have questions about it. But other than that, in Theravada, what we believe is that the early Nikayas, Dika, Majjhima, Samyutta, Uttara, we don't see this issue a lot. This enlightenment is just what we call expansion of the mind of everybody. If this is achieved by anybody, then the enlightenment is possible, right? So that is how the Buddha thought about. So being a woman is not a problem. Maybe you are a woman in this life, in next life you can be a man too. Who knows? Never know. So this is always changing, right? So, and the idea that some people quote that, gender is a problem to other things too in the Buddhist teachings. But with fundamental teachings, we don't see that. Okay, any other questions about today's 5 responsibilities of a man's side to the woman? We're going to be doing the responsibilities of wife towards husband, not next Friday, and I have a time off for next Friday for Chinese New Year. That means we're going to be seeing again on 27th Friday. So 20th, we are not doing, we are canceling for 20th, but we are going to be meeting again on 27th, Chinese New Year. Any more questions? Okay, so let's then jump into the transference of the next part. Let's reflect upon all the good karmas which we've been accumulating in all these ways by listening to section of the Sigalovada Sutta about responsibilities from the man's side towards the woman, and engage in the Dhamma discussion. May all these good karmas be transferred to all the departed relatives that passed away in the name of all of us. May all the departed people who passed away in the name of all of us be happy. At the same time, if they were reborn in a place where they are suffering a lot, may they be able to be reborn in a better place. If they are already reborn in a better place, may they be able to improve their life standards, listen to more Dhamma, and practice more Dhamma, and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me jnati nang hotu sukhita hum punyatayo. Idam me jnati nang sukhita hum punyatayo. Idam me jnati nang hotu sukhita hum punyatayo. May all the good karmas be shared the Devas, Nagas, and Mahikas. Devas, Nagas, and Mahikas be well and happy. At the same time, may they bless, protect all of you, including your children and grandchildren too. For good health, quality of life, safety, prosperity, and all the other things. May 2023, we are still at the beginning of 2023. May 2023 be an year where you are utterly comfortable, happy, safe, and learning more Dhamma, and most importantly, applying, practicing, and then witnessing the progress of your Dhamma path through even our discussions. Of us for all the other things, and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata cha ammihi sambadang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti sindhya Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu lokasasanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga Mahittika punyantang anumuditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti chirang rakkhantu tvang sadati. In the endless samsaric journey, we need to be accompanied by Kalyana Mitras, noble friends. May we be always in the company of the Kalyana Mitras, noble friends, and not be in the company of Pavnitas, bad friends. Thinking thus, we go to recite this stanza too. Imina punya kamena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yavadimbana pantiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which will be accumulating to this path be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Abhivadana silissa nityang baddha pachayino chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvannu sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And wishing you a happy Chinese New Year. Enjoy the time. Be safe. I remember I made a mistake in saying to somebody, Happy Easter. You don't say Happy Easter. That was a bad thing happened to Jesus Christ. Gotta be careful and say happy to all the events. Don't add happy to all the events. Okay, so I'm gonna see you then on
27.
Friday. Not next Friday, gonna be on January 27th.
Thank you,
I think
Bhante.
probably for those people who could not show up the last couple of weeks, they can catch up in the meantime, refresh and then catch up with things. And we have all the YouTube videos so far, YouTube. And if you don't see the YouTube video, I think you can watch the Facebook video too. That is live already. So yeah, always there are options too. And I hope. Thank you, everybody, and enjoy your time. Happy Chinese New Year.
Thank you very much, Bhante.
Take care.
Thank
Good
you.
night, Bhante.
Thank you,
Thank you, Lynn,
Bhante.
Mariana. Yeah.
And thank you, Bhante.
See you on YouTube.